that's what we're here to do. That's what's happening, and we're doing it one family, one person, and one glass of what, Shawn, at a time?
9.5 at a time.
That's what I'm talking about, kids. So, Rodgar and Carol, one more time on that. Corolla. So, how did you guys get involved with the Kangen water family?
It's a while ago, but a friend of mine saw a Facebook ad about one lady from Saskatoon. I think, no, it's Edmonton. And he told me about it, and I was the guy who took the opportunity and jumped in, and the other guy still sits on the side and watches. So,
wow, that's awesome. That's pretty cool when you end up being involved, where the guy that showed you about it, he's not even he wasn't smart enough to make the right decision, or at least not at this time, because we happen to know that it's only a matter of time before people are going to have this lightning bolt in a box sitting next to their sink. It's like I've been telling people, it's the microwave oven of 1967. It's the cell phone of 1973. And, it's going to be, everybody's going to have them. And we have such a blessing of being involved at this particular point in time. So what was it that made you decide, Rodgar, to get involved, to make the investment?
Well, first of all, they present to me the opportunity about the business, and I'm still struggling in it. I'm not very far in yet, but because I'm a truck driver, I'm more than 20 hours a day on the road, so I'm still struggling to make time to keep the business or start the business rolling. But after I got my machine, and if I'm going away for a vacation about 5 or 10 days, you can feel it right away. There's something missing if you just drink something else.
Yeah. You need to take that machine with you on vacation. Kong likes going on vacation too, buddy.
I don't go anywhere without my machine. Airplanes, trains, automobiles. I could even throw it in a saddlebag on a horse if I had to get somewhere.
Love it. Awesome. So you've been drinking the water for a while now. How long have you been involved, Rodgar?
It will be over a year right now. So
a little over a year. And you guys have been drinking the water, and what kind of health stories do you have to tell about it? Have you noticed some, you were just saying that you noticed when you've gone without it, but we like to learn about people's experiences, what's happened for them. Yesterday on the show, young Stratton was talking about a skin issue that his machine had, that he struggled with for the early parts of his life, and it was gone within a very short period of time. It's amazing what happens when we give our machine what it needs so that it can run properly. What kind of things happen for you?
Well, first of all, like I said, if I'm going away from it, then I feel it right away that I'm not hydrated. And the other thing what I'm feeling is I used to have the shards all underneath the eyes here, and they're not there no more. So
awesome. How about you, honey? What kind of effects? What have you thought about it? What's your story?
Well, I'm just in it for 3 months, I should say, that I'm drinking it, just that water. So, so I like that. I can't drink any other water. I mean, I can feel it right away too, right? So.
Congratulations, you're a water snob too. Beautiful. We're all water snobs. I'm a water snob and proud of it.
Hey, look, for the record, this bottle here, you can only find it in Nagik, Germany, that I've gotten it. My buddy out there and just outside of Bergheim, he sends these to me, man. Instead of those corny, cheap ones you got with the plastic lid and the little plastic thing that breaks all the time. Nice little canvas little strap here. Oh, yeah, we got it going on. European made.
Nothing like German engineering, right?
That's right.
That's right.
Kind of like their Saabs, you know. I mean, they're Audis. They're Audis.
That's awesome. So Shawn, do you by chance have any kind of a question for Rodgar?
Well, you know, I'm glad that my man Edlin cleaned it up a little bit. I thought we were going to come over to his house and party for a minute there. And then he got all dressed up. Now he's ready for the show. No, God bless you. Hey, dig it. I was thinking along the lines of it being Friday, and you know, you're talking about, you know, leadership. A lot of stuff's been made about leadership. At some point in time in this little shindig today on this glorious Friday, I've got a 3-minute video that is absolutely hilarious, and it's profound in its demonstration of what not just leadership is, but being of the first followers really translates to. So I'm just kind of chomping at the bit to get after that. So I'll let you handle all the questions in that regard, and then when it comes down to me doing my deal, I'll drop it like it's hot, Snoop Dogg style.
Well, you know, I'm thinking that we could all use a little bit of leadership advice from a little 3-minute video. Why don't we go ahead and run that baby, and then we'll see what it
this thing started. You guys are gonna die laughing. I don't know. I know my man Edlin's probably been out to the gorge if he's any type of music lover. But yeah, the Columbia River Gorge, just west of Moses Lake, Washington, is one of the most incredibly cool venues to watch outdoor, you know, live music. But this was a scene caught several years ago. I'm going to share my screen. You guys watch this for a minute. You're going to die laughing, but you're going to get it. To me, I just think it's hilarious that we're able to do stuff like this. So you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, giddy up. Here we go. Turn up your volume. And this is for everybody out there wondering who they're following. Sometimes you got to follow somebody just a little off the cuff because all the Kool-Aid drinkers, they don't have the courage and the originality to step out there and put themselves out there. All right.
The Kong family doesn't have that problem.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making it, then let's watch what happens start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, the leader needs to cut.
Crank up the volume a little there, Shawn.
What he's doing is so simple, it's instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow.
It's up.
Notice how the leader
Okay.
It's not about the leader anymore. It's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. It takes guts to be the first follower. Stand down.
The kids are having some fun out there.
The leader is the flint. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's perfect first to run well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not two nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Picture outsiders. Leader. Everyone needs to see the follower because new followers emulate the follower, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out. They will be ridiculed, and they will. Over the next minute, you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd. Eventually, they will not join. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how we movement is made. After you learn, if you are a version of the Sherman dancing time all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equal.
JJ, you're coming here in a little bit.
Talk about leadership.
Yeah. Watch JJ. You're coming, bud. There's JJ. Woohoo!
See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that really effective. The best way to make them if you really care is courageously show others how to. When you find a lone nut, that's not
Oh,
stand up.
All right.
leadership lessons. I love it.
From the dancing guy. See, and that's the thing we're talking about. You had a few cats out there digging the beat that Enagic had going on over in Japan for years. It's now in the great United States of America, 15 years strong. We need to be those followers that go in there and start the party.
I'm always the leader that starts the party. I'm like, I always say the party starts when I get there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's classic. I love it. So, yeah, so Rodgar,
You don't roll it. It's not Spanish. Just clean it up there, man. It's German.
you know me and my names. I'm always messing them up. That's for sure.
Well, don't worry. I do the same thing. Usually the first name I never remember.
The name butcher. Just call me the name butcher. You've been using the Kangen water for about a year, and you're so busy with what you're doing that you haven't had a lot of chance to really work the business. But it's something that you're working towards. That's something that you've got a goal, and it sounds to me like that's the reason you got involved. Because most people get into this because of health issues, but there are a lot of people out there who they see the business aspect of it, and that's the part that they're more interested in. It looks to me like you and your wife are in pretty good health, and kind of like me, I've noticed things that I didn't even realize were problems. Things like heartburn. I thought that's something you just take Tums for, and it's normal, and that kind of stuff. And then when it went away completely, in spite of the fact that I didn't change anything else, I realized, maybe that was more of a problem than I thought. So what kind of stuff have you had happen in that regard? And is that kind of the way it was for you, where you're just like, it just feels good and need to be utilizing it?
Yeah, that's right. I always enjoying drinking my water. So I been teached that way. I had a brother, he had kidney stone twice when I was little, and I figured when I grow up, if I can prevent that with drinking water, I will do. And that's why ever since I drink a lot of water, and since I have the Kangen water, I even drink more.
So now you're looking forward to rolling with the business, and building yourself a business. What do you have to say about what you're working on there?
I'm working on making ads. That's always a back step for me. I don't know. It's hard for me, and because I'm a lot of time on the road, that's where I want to get off the road, because I'm always on the road again.
So have you had the ability to share the water out with some people, or what's your situation been there as far as being able to, a lot of the people that are part of the business, one of the main rule, the main goal, the main objective is to share the water. Everybody that's high up in the company, they always say, share the water, share the water, share the water. What kind of stuff have you been able to work as far as being able to share the water with other people?
I have done that too, sharing the water, but I don't know if you ever heard about Mennonites, and I'm a Mennonite, and they can be very stubborn, and they don't believe what the little guy says. So that's the way it works in our culture. So
yeah, well, it pretty much works that way for all of us. The world's full of skeptics, and it's probably a good thing to be a healthy skeptic, but you want to keep your eyes open and your ears open and your mind open. And there's a lot of people that don't you know, they don't practice that. And a lot of people who just already know everything. And personally, I feel sorry for those kinds of people that already know everything, because if you're not learning something every day,
You're dying.
you might as well just be 6 feet under if you're not learning something every day. So Dan, do you have
Yes,
anything? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was saying yes, sir. Just ready to answer whatever questions.
I'm just curious if you have anything that you know, because how long have you been involved with Kong's Water?
I was
Oh,
Hold on, Dan. 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 That's it. That's it. That's it. Hold up. Hold. Dan, your volume.
Can you? Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
I didn't hear a lick of that.
Oh, okay. You want to know why? It's actually I'm getting incoming calls from Oklahoma. I have a lot of business back there, and I know I have a couple machines going out this morning. But I'll start over. So, can you hear me now?
Yeah, beautiful. Get after it.
So 5 years ago, I was approached by somebody, and I wouldn't even look at the project. I was doing well in another field. He said, "This is a perfect fit for you. You just got to come see this presentation." Took him 14 months. So there's a lesson in the power of the follow-up, because look what, you know, me and him have done together since then. And he goes, "I never gave up on you. The fortune's in the follow-up. I knew this was a perfect fit for you." So 14 months later, I walked into a large meeting we do once a month at the Spaghetti Factory in a closed off room in a restaurant. There was about 45 people there, and I sat and watched that demo, and my jaw was on the ground. I could not even believe what I was looking at. I was drinking 2 to 3 Cokes a day, 6 to 7 Aquafinas a day, and I thought I was living a perfect life. I had zero clue. So now the power of sharing water, I still was like, you know, I guess I want to go research this. He said, "Hey, better yet, let me do you a favor." He came, started sharing water with me. 10 days later, I trifected in, not really even for the business, just because I kind of had this epiphany about my health. And so purchased my machine about just 2 months shy of 4 years. So I've been involved a little bit less than 4 years. But, you know, for the first 90 days, I didn't want to tell anybody I just spent $9,000 on water either. So I didn't tell anybody about it. And then even though I knew what I bought and was amazing, and then very organically started sharing water with a few people.
Oh,
and 1 second, because I just got another call. Sorry, I'm deleting him and going back to you guys. So I guess 2 months under 4 years, but I started taking it really serious about 4 months after that. So about 3.5 years I've been involved.
nice.
and so I'm assuming that things are going pretty well for you. It sounds like you got something going in Oklahoma, and
Oh yeah. I'm a 6'2", and yeah, I mean, it's all I've done for the last, like I said, I started taking it serious about 3.5 years ago. I've done nothing else for the last 2.5 years. I mean, you know, no one's making a claim or anything, but I do 6 figures, and I work about, 20, 30 hours a month, very, very casually, I mean, I could do a lot more. I just kind of, I've got good things going, and I work with the people that are open to it. I mean, Shawn was kind of talking about that, but I look for people that are open to what we have. I mean, if you walk up and approach 100 people about water, 99 are going to look at you. Sorry, that was another call. Hold on 1 second. But if you approach 99 people and ask them if they want to possibly have another $570 or $855, they're more apt to listen. I look at Enagic, it was life-changing technology for me, absolutely changed my health and my life in every way something can, but it's a vessel to get us to where we want to go. I mean, I was able to spend the whole month of January in Bali, still was able to do a lot of business. I mean, this is the vessel, time freedom is the key, man, passive income. I look for people who don't want to trade hours for their time. I mean, I love the guy that's the truck driver, and I'm sorry that he has to do that. But I'll tell you this, you are early in a way that you can never understand. And even people that are joining this project in 2 or 3 years will be early. So just, you know, use that as a motivation and keep plugging away. Because I'll tell you, we're 4 to 7 years away from anybody even really even understanding what we have. And that's when the floodgates of money are going to come. We really are. I mean, so I tell people, if you want to win in this deal, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just
So I tell
beating my
people,
Kong chest.
what's that?
I was just beating my Kong chest. I saw
Oh,
Patrick flexing, and you had us all fired up. You got us a little nipply there.
Well, I'll just tell you, man, I tell people, if you want to win at this deal, just don't quit. You know, I want to go back to something that JJ said about, and I believe you were saying it too, Shawn. Sorry, I was just waking up at the time, but I did a festival called Veg Fest. It's for vegetarians. I did it 3 years ago, and everybody looked at me and my table like I was a dog that they just heard a whistle, right? Their head was turned to the side. They were looking at me like I was completely insane. 2 years ago, people were like, you know, I think I've seen that. Last year, we sold a couple machines right on the spot, and we had about 10 or 15 people come by and go, is this that thing I keep seeing, that Japanese thing? This is supposed to be amazing. And I'm telling you, no kidding. It was this weekend, so 4 or 5 days ago. That's another pleasure I have. I'm not even sure what day it is, but last weekend, we did it again. 25 people on the only day I worked it on Saturday had walked by the booth and go, oh my God, best water in the world. Just bought one of these 6 months ago. Just bought one 9 months ago. So we went from nobody even knowing what we're talking about 3 years ago to 20 to 25 people walking by saying they bought one in the last year. And none of them had bought from me. I mean, I actually met people that lived 5 minutes from the office that had bought machines from people in Indonesia, Germany. And it was just, I was flabbergasted. So the point is, I could still go a mile from the office and stop 100 people and ask them if they've heard of Kangen water. 98 will still say they've never heard of it. So just think about those numbers. I mean, we are so early, and that's why people look at us strange. They don't understand disruptive technology, and this is what we have. People will say no to this most of the time before they will.
Okay.
Nice. Thank you, Dan.
Sorry,
You're right on, brother.
Yeah.
That's some powerful stuff right there. You know, I mean, that's the.
I got hours of that, brother.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I can do this all day.
yeah, you and me both, brother. I absolutely love it. My passion is this company. It's kind of cool because I've been running around like a chicken with his head cut off for the last 20 years doing, you know, I had a floor covering company for 30 years, which was my main staple, but I was always trying to look for other things because I wanted to get the heck off my knees. But this right here, this is some passion. This has got my heartstrings. And
I'll tell you what, people, you know, when they say to me, you know, like, you know, you get those customers are a little bit skeptical and they're like, yeah, but this is, you know, there's money involved in this, so you're motivated. I mean, dude, I could tell somebody so sincerely, I would do this for half of what I make, man. I mean, the things that I mean, you guys are early, and like Roger hasn't, you know, had a ton of experience sharing water or anything like that. And I don't know what Shawn's experience is, but I can tell you this, the things I've seen, and I'm not making a claim, I'm telling you what I've seen with my own eyes: fibromyalgia, cholesterol, diabetes, autistic kids. I mean, dude, that was another call. Well, you know, Shawn was just talking about it, and I just signed up this guy who's going to be amazing, and he's in Switzerland, and he's in my downline from a 6A that's in my business, and we just signed this guy up in Switzerland, and he is just on fire. So he did 2 machines in the last week in Switzerland, a machine yesterday in Canada, and apparently a machine this morning in Germany. So he's got big tentacles, and he's far-reaching, and we were lucky to find him. He was apparently in the water business in Europe for 11 years. 11 years in the water. I want you to think about this, Roger. 11 years in the water business in Europe, and he had never heard of Kangen water. We found him via Facebook. He found my business partner, who's, like I said, is a 6A underneath me. They threw back and forth 3 or 4 videos. The guy bought without ever drinking a glass of water, and he's he's a person that, you know, has people's ears. And like I said, he's done 5, 6, 7 machines very, very, very quickly. And he's going to be a big force in Europe in this business.
Thanks for inspiring.
And the nice thing is, you know, I'm telling you, you guys may have a 6A2 on the line and go, oh, wow, I mean, look what he's doing. But dude, I'm a baby in this thing. I mean, I meet people. I mean, I meet some people that, man, I mean, they are murdering this thing. I mean, they are just killing this thing. And you know, they get to a place where it's effortless. And I want Roger, and I'm not, what rank are you, Shawn?
I'm a 6A. You're going to get a kick out of this. I've been in this since 09, and I had no leadership. I just had it sold to a guy from out of town. I ended up buying, you know, he watched me play in college. I've got 480 some machines out, and I'm a 6A. And the only, the closest leg that I have as a 6A underneath me is my buddy from Germany. He played ball here in the States. And then my ex-wife's leg that she didn't want nothing to do with it. I had her at a 4A knocking on a 5A. So I just took over that leg. And so those are my 2 5A legs in the low 50s. But I mean, I've gone about it so backwards.
Right.
So a big part of my priority is to help people understand the things it's taken me a little longer to figure out early, so they're not repeating that. Because I could leverage myself to twice the money.
And I want to, some point, if JJ would let me show you guys. But the thing is a common misconception is structure when people are brought into this business. So not everybody can afford to do it correctly. But so somebody like you, who's got 400 and something machines out there, we show people how to structure so where they can be 6A2 at 202, 203 machines every single time. And the thing is, there's value in that, because the minute that I can get Shawn away from his job and earning real passive income, his fire just goes from a 10-foot tall bonfire to 40 feet, right? So the thing is, and there's a huge difference there, Shawn, because at 418 machines, if you're sitting there as a 6A right now, that's great. But the thing is, as a 6A2, which you would absolutely have been 200 machines ago, you're getting a monthly bonus, you're getting a quarterly bonus, you're getting filter bonuses from all 3 of your business centers as opposed to 1. And so what we try and really do now, like I said, not everybody can come in that way, but structure plays a big game in Enagic. And you know, somebody like you should be a 6A2. Just when you were brought into the business, you were probably never even informed of this. I meet people all the time that have been involved in Enagic, and I sit down and show them the way I do structure, and their jaws just hit the ground. They can't believe how much money they left on the table.
Well, maybe one of these times here in the near future, you can maybe put something. I don't know if you've got any type of videos we could screen share with you, Edlin. I think that's huge knowledge, because you know, you talked about the trifecta. There are so many different ways to leverage this thing.
For sure.
You really put yourself in the best position, and I didn't. I chased all my sick people, and it was just chasing end users. I just wanted to help people with cancer and diabetes, and believe me, you know, I've got as many testimonies for that stuff. It's crazy.
Sorry, that was Oklahoma again, if you guys lost me. And, you know, and the thing is, it's great to, you know, dude, I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to help everybody I can. I'll sell a machine to anybody that wants to look at this technology. But if I can help one person, or I can talk to somebody like this guy in Switzerland who wants to go out and his goal is to go 6A in 9 months. I mean, what, you know, that's what we want. We want people that are spreading the word. You know, we want people that are sharing the water. We want that, because the next time I go to Veg Fest, I don't want 20 people walking by. I want 40 people walking by, because what those people did is I was in the middle of a demo and they're literally walking up going, oh my God, dude, you gotta have this technology. And the people on the table are going, really? I've never heard of it before. Oh my God, we bought ours 4 months ago. My husband had acid reflux. And I mean, that's our validation out there. And the sad state with most people who are closed off, or whatever you'd like to call them, is they're followers. They're not leaders. They're not like us. You know, they're not people that can take a leap of faith and see a big vision. They're the person that buys when their next door neighbor got a boat, so they go out and get in debt and get a boat. And that's what I mean by we're 4 to 7 years away, because, you know, at some point the the level of realization of what we have is going to come out to the masses, and then it's just going to be keeping up with the Joneses, right? And so what you want to do is establish yourself, you know, because you have this 4 to 7 year window of people really not knowing what we have, and just get your foothold and find your traction and get good at talking about it and get good at objections. And I don't mean in a salesman way, just know what you're talking about. I mean, people are going to bring up competitor machines. They're going to bring up this, they're going to bring up that. I mean, do you have data to support that we are the best in the world? And you just got to utilize this time. You know, there's 4 people on here, and I'll tell you that right now. If everybody is still on this call in 5 years from now, you'll be living very different lives. I promise you that. But the thing is, too many people come into this, they get excited, they hear 3 no's, they go back underground like they're Bin Laden in a cave. And the thing is they enjoy their machine for the rest of their life, but they're too scared to talk about water. Be proud of what we have. We have the most amazing gift on the planet that nobody has ever heard of.
Yes.
That's it. Amen.
Hey, I really would love to stay. I've missed about 7 calls, and I have to be somewhere at 9. It's 8. I wasn't a guest this morning. I just popped on to see what you're doing, but I will jump on for Tristan's call. And, you know, and JJ, I got a lot of really, really, really cool guests that would be more than glad to come on here that got some amazing stuff going on. So if I can help you fill your calendar, I'm proud to do so. Yes,
please. I need all the help I can get finding good people to be here. We want to hear their stories and share them. And so, yes,
for sure.
Wonderful. Put them in touch with me.
And does anybody have a quick question that I could just do in like under 3-4 minutes, or just anything at all, or you can just catch me next week? Or
I'm not sure I heard the first part of that.
What's that?
Sure I heard the first part of that.
Oh, no, I was just saying that, you know, I wasn't scheduled. So sometime in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to have to go because I'm missing a lot of phone calls this morning. But
go ahead, man.
But I was just saying, if anybody has a quick question, I'd be more than glad to share whatever knowledge I have.
What I'm excited for is to get you on next Wednesday. I think it would be wonderful to do a show where you're talking about the, you know, the structure of the marketing plan, because that's something we really haven't hit yet on the Kong Family Show. It's mostly been about stories of health and that kind of stuff. We really haven't talked about any wealth stories, you know, some wealth building stories, and I think that would be a great topic for next Wednesday when you bop on. So if you want to plan on whatever you think would be the most effective thing.
Yeah. And you know, you guys are going to laugh at this. I'd have to get with Shawn, and you can ask Tristan about this, but my computer skills are probably the most rudimentary on the planet. So I saw Shawn doing the screen sharing and stuff, and I got to be honest, I don't even know how to do that stuff. I was sitting here searching for your Zoom because I wanted to like make sure I could actually get on there next week. But if I can find a way, maybe I can get my girl out of bed and she can kind of videotape me. I got a whiteboard, I could show it really quick, but we'll figure something out. And I promise you, either way, you know, we'll get some inspiration to the troops. But just, you know, I can be honest with you, man. You're in the right vessel. This is the right time. It's the perfect storm. You're starting to see stuff down here in the States. No more plastic bottles. You know, San Francisco's trying to eliminate them. You know, people look at us sideways now, but I am telling you, we are in the perfect storm. Water's not getting any better. Bottled water's not getting any cheaper. Everybody needs what we have. They just don't know it. So they need to hear about it from one of you guys.
Nice.
Damn, brother.
Hey,
all right, man. Have a great.
Look forward to dialing in with you next week, brother.
Absolutely.
In the meanwhile, Oklahoma.
Hey, God.
I just wish I had a frying pan to beat from 30 Rotten Scoundrels. Oklahoma.
And I got a guy actually in Seattle. It's funny. I'll give you the 2-minute version. I talked to him 2 years ago. I walk into the room. He's got this beautiful, beautiful glass bottle. He said, "My friend, I don't need you. And you should get him on your show. This guy is amazing. Speaks 8 languages. He's been a monk. He's been an international chef. This guy is the most, what a high quality individual." But I walk into his thing. He says, "I drink the best water in the world, my friend. I don't need anything you have." I put a Kongan machine in his house for 5 days. On the 6th day, he goes to Citibank, trifecta's in, and he's like, "I just don't know anybody that needs this, but God, I'm grateful I found you." He's now a 6A in my business. He's done machines in Serbia, Norway. He's on his way to 6A2. He has adult family homes, the way he's been able to utilize and use this water in that home with the older people, no more constipation issues, using the 2.5 on their cuts and scrapes when they bump into something. I mean, but it just goes to show you, and my point here is don't listen to what anybody has to say. If they say, Roger, you know, I'm good, I don't need any of that. People do not know what they need. It's easier for them to say no than to understand new technology. And so the fortune is in the following. I don't listen to what anybody has to say, because I heard somebody else say here earlier, well, it's not, you know, if, it's when. And that is absolutely the truth. When people tell you no, it's only because they don't understand what they're saying no to. So, you know, be nice about it. Don't burn any bridges. And I can kind of explain the follow-up system that I kind of use, but been very, very successful as far as, you know, I mean, getting that phone call a year later, okay, man, I'm ready. And you've already done the work. So we can get into that later. But, man, have a great day, everybody. And I'll jump on for Teresa's thing and kind of surprise, but I'll also look forward to next week.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan. Have a great
Thanks,
week.
you guys.
Give everybody our love. HooDeeHooo. Wow, that's cool.
Well, you know, listen.
Him in there. That was great.
That's it. And what we're talking about, some people. Have you guys ever seen the Simon Sinek video? The cat talks about leadership and how leadership inspires action. This is exactly what we're talking about in terms of, you know, we're not even in the first 4 to 7 years. Dan hit the nail on the head. We're still in the early, there's a paradigm. And I actually have that video. It's about a 15-minute video, but I love playing that for people because it puts things into a perspective about not only the timing of what we have, but the timing of introducing this product and a product of this caliber to the world that, like Edlin just said, they don't even know they need it. But once anybody just gets a little inclination as to what's going on, they know they want this thing. And it's just up to us to do it. And at the end of the day, there's always going to be people that, you know, the earth is flat. You cannot tell them it's round. They're just going to believe it no matter what. And that's about a 16% of the population. But there's 84% on a normal marketing paradigm, 84% market penetration when a product has maximized its, and we're not even in 0.5%. We've got 480,000 machines out in the United States, and there's 137 million residences here. You do the math, it's between 1/3 to 0.5%. Canada's even less. But those Canadians are getting after it like the cops are chasing them right now. I really love seeing the momentum growing in Canada, you know. And yeah, there's a lot of trendsetters coming out of that part of the world. So I really like connecting with them. You got another one right here down here on my bottom left. Hey, Downey, where are you from, my man? Patrick.
Oh, where am I from?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Where are you from?
Well, I was born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, but I'm up in Ohio.
Nice.
So I'm near the Great Lakes, you know, the biggest lake, the Lake Erie. But you know, that thing's full of water, but I wouldn't drink it.
Yeah.
What was it? I don't know if it was one of you guys. Maybe it was you, Shawn, or another fellow I picked up on. It showed a person eating their spaghetti out of a toilet bowl and said that's like what you making your pasta with. If you're getting tap water, it's like eating your spaghetti noodles right out of the toilet. And, you know, what a marketing tool that is. You know, why would you pour that shit water on your food and then eat it? But some people, you know, some men you just can't reach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that old movie with Paul Newman. You know, what we have is a failure to communicate. And some men you just can't reach. My God, I mean, I just barely clipped on there with what Dan had to say, and first thing I did was friend him, and I'm like, man, I'll be here next Wednesday because he's full.
Yeah, he's got it going on.
Get to the next level, but
Hey guys, I will leave you guys. I have to go to work.
Hey, Roger, hey, listen, let's connect again, bud. I'm going to friend you on Facebook as well. The whole purpose of this Kong family is just to really unify and galvanize all our energies into helping new people get rolling, helping prospects get machines. You just dig in, bud. Keep working your tail off, doing what you're doing. But there's going to come a time. Keep that vision in your head that this is the golden ticket right here. And
Yeah, just
you
look
know,
me up. Look me up on Instagram as well. So I blew my Instagram up the last 7 days. I got over 1,000 views on my profile.
nice.
Awesome. Yes. Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Roger. Really appreciate you taking the time to bop in here with us on such short notice. And, you know, I was kind of wanting to hear your story, and we'll have to get you back on again here soon. And you can talk a little bit more about what's going on. And, but yeah, keep in touch with what we're doing here. There's going to be a lot of golden nuggets that we're going to be dropping on a daily basis around here. So, you know, every little thing you can learn is going to help you to go out there and spread your business as you roll around. Make sure you keep business cards with you. Hand them out as gifts. That's what I do. I tell people, I'm going to give you the best gift that anybody's ever given you, and I hand them my business card and just walk away. And
Hey,
so
I got one thing to ask Roger.
Go ahead.
As I start getting these machines starting to get delivered, I see you wearing a FedEx shirt. Do we get a family discount for using FedEx?
That's a good question, but I'm just a line haul driver. I'm hauling pin to pin, so.
God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, JJ, for calling me out. And have a good day, guys.
Yeah,
Alright.
hey, guten Tag.
So Shawn, what's happening with you right now?
Just getting ready to get my taxes and stuff done. You know, that's my objective here. But yeah, I'm just really starting to seize into a lot of the momentum that's starting to take place. Like I said, I've been up here on an island for a long time in Montana, and yeah, my leadership, they can't really, my 6A, he's done 6 or 7 other projects since then, and I met him kind of indirectly through the guy that sold me my machine. But the guy who sold me my machine, I bought his machine 5 years ago from him because he's selling some heart powder or something. You know, he can't quite marry, can't find the girl to marry, so he just keeps dating around, you know. So I took his girlfriend, I took his SD 501, took her from him, and yeah, I'm kind of I'm actually 3-timing it here with 3 machines. So I'm feeling pretty blessed. But, you know, the idea, the objective is I've been thinking for the longest time that, you know, God's been preparing me for a lot of things, you know, and I really believe that anything you go through, anything that you struggle through, you're just being prepared for something better. And I think with respect to Enagic and even just the momentum and everything we've been talking about right now, we're just laying the foundation right now. We're still pouring concrete. The sticks ain't even being built on this project yet. So I'm just hunkered in, you know, trying to be a little more leverage minded and, you know, reaching out, trying to find and identify people who are a little hungrier than the status quo job people who clock in and clock out and flip people off on the road to work every day, you know. I'm just not, I don't want to deal with that. Even if I have to get out and about and I find myself out in rush hour, which is very relatively taken in Montana, it's crazy. People are flying around like they're chickens with their heads cut off, and they don't know where in the hell they're going. They just know they got to get there by this time or they're going to get, you know, in trouble for being late, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, people are just getting by, and I want to get past the people who are treading water to survive and not drown. I want to find people who want a Mai Tai and a floaty and a pair of shades and be kicking it on a pool in Cancun. Those are the people I want to look for. The visionaries, the people that are like want to work smarter and not harder. You know, I was raised, I think we all were, we're all kind of old school. We were raised to work your tail off. Nothing comes to anybody that doesn't work their ass off. But I've also learned through just experience, working harder Man, working harder trumps working smarter all day long. Or working smarter trumps working harder all day long.
Yes.
You know, and I think this allows us the opportunity to work smarter. And if we have any sort of work ethic and we work hard at any level, yeah, it's just going to combine itself for a real nice formula for success. And if it's 5 to 10 years, you know, hey, if I can retire as unconventionally as my career's gone, no retirement, none of that, just if I can retire in 10 years from this project, and if I can just sit back, I'll never retire really. I'll just kind of slow down and let things start going, kind of like Edlin's talking about. But he's been in about a third of the time I have, and he's already well past me getting monthly bonuses, and that's just incentive for me to just keep on this track and get these other 5A legs to 6A.
Yeah, amen, brother. You know, that's the cool thing about all this is that we have so much potential.
I'll be right back.
We need to just keep working towards that regardless of what happens. You know, as long as we stay on the course we're on, we're gonna succeed. I've been telling people that if you jump on this train right now and work it hard, 3 to 5 years from now, you're gonna be set. You're gonna be able to do whatever the heck you want for the rest of your life. And you just need to work it and follow the program and continue to be consistent with it. And so that's
one thing I know that I think is, you know, they call them archives for a reason. And it would be interesting to be able to go back and 3 to 5 years from now, look back and say, hey, you remember when we were sitting here on a Friday in April 2019? And then we're all sitting on a boat somewhere. You know, it's dreams, but, you know, to rewind and go, man, would we have done it any different? And I think, you know, we just don't know that. It's uncharted territory for us. And I think just a little bit of what I heard Dan was talking about was vital. I mean, it is. This is groundbreaking, and I'm really starting to comprehend that. One other thing I wanted to ask you, JJ, was when you were telling me about that story about your lovely wife when she, you know, you lost the screw down in the hole and all that, I couldn't help but see that there was a rubber band wrapped around that spray nozzle thing. Did she get you with that?
He's gotten me every freaking year for 29 years with that. Every freaking April Fool's Day. Every day, every April Fool's, the whole 29 years we've been together, I've gotten sprayed. I can never remember it. I always walk in there and turn on the thing. I get, you know, and she hears me scream and she sits there and giggles in bed.
That's kind of, I was thinking that was what that was about. But when you were talking about it, motivation meeting, you didn't bring that part up. And I wanted to intervene and say, hey, JJ, how was the shower or the spray job at the sink?
Yeah, every morning on April 1st for the last 29 years, I've gotten an unexpected shower in the morning. That's why I had to post that out, because she got me again. And because she actually forgot about it, I went in and got my coffee and then came down here and went for the morning motivation, and then I went back up to refuel, and then I switched it on and got it. And she's like, oh, I forgot. I guess it's never too late. I could just go wrap that rubber band around and he'll never notice the difference, and boom. And sure enough, she got me.
Hey, as soon as I seen the picture, because I've done it to people before, and as soon as I seen the picture, I'm like, I meant to call you and ask you. I seen your post, and I thought, oh boy, April Fools.
Yeah, that's my sweetie. She's a treasure. I'll tell you, she's an amazing woman. She's been working at the grocery store as a checker for 29 years, and she's called in sick 3 times in 29 years. 3 times. She's gone to work light. She's so amazing. I could never do what she does, and she's by far the biggest gift in my life. That's for sure. And, you know, so it's always fun, really. I don't know. Somehow I think I love it just as much as she does, getting squirted on April 1st every year. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm stupid, but I love it. You know, sometimes it's fun to do stupid things. You know, and for me, that's just you know, it'll almost. I'll tell you, someday I'll miss that when when that unfortunate time comes when she's no longer here, or I'm no longer here, whatever, and I don't get that anymore. That'll be, those kinds of things that happen, that friends do and such, and you're annoyed by it or whatever, but then when all of a sudden it's gone. Like, I had a dear friend who died, and she used to always call me. She got in an auto accident, had a horrible brain injury. I wish I would have known about Kangen water at that time, because it may have changed her life. She had plenty of money. She would have listened to me. She would have bought a machine, but I didn't even know about it at that time. And but she had this horrible brain injury, and she was never really the same after that. But she would call me, like, she'd call me at night, and she'd yammer on about all this stuff. And then in the morning, she'd call me back again, and she'd yammer on about all the exact same stuff, and she would do this kind of stuff to me all the time. And it would drive me nuts because I was busy and stuff like that. But now that she's gone, I'll tell you, I miss her so much. I miss her. I miss those phone calls. I miss her calling me one night, talking about one thing, and then calling me the next morning and talking about that exact same thing again. Not even remembering that she just talked to me about it last night. And I do miss that. So we have to learn to treasure all of those things. And I know that the morning motivation stuff is really helping me out a lot when it comes to things like the little bolt going down into that little teeny tiny hole. It's like, what the hell? What in the hell just happened here? It's like, where did it go? Oh my Lord, it went through that little teeny hole, this big old area, and it goes right into that little tiny hole. And in the past, I would have reacted a heck of a lot different to that than I did when it happened a few days ago. I just started laughing, and it was something that really impressed my sweetie. She's like, wow, that was different. You know, last year you would have exploded. Like Thomas said, you probably would have torn the kitchen apart trying to get to that stupid little nut. But yeah, you guys, this has been a really great show today. It was been kind of a surprise because I didn't know who was coming on, what we were going to talk about, what was going to go on. So I kind of reached out to Roger because I saw that he was at home with his sweetie, and I thought maybe I can get a few minutes out of him. And so I reached out at like the last minute, and he was gracious enough to come on for a few minutes. And then all of a sudden, here's Dan, and here's Shawn, and here's Patrick, and hey, we got a party going on here today. Sweet, it's Friday. Great day for a party. All right.
Well, you know how Shawn was talking about computer. I'm not the smartest guy on the planet. Like I was saying in that morning motivation, that I hit the wrong button on the daggone recipient list. And when I sent that out, my boss, he calls me in his office and he goes, first thing I'm going to do is I want you to pay better attention to what you're doing when you're typing out emails. He goes, I've been on the phone literally for 3 hours with the CEO, the GM, or the general manager, the president, the general manager. He goes, the top 4 people in the meat tech company, which is worldwide, China, Germany. And he's like, I'm trying to divert their attention away from who's this guy, this machine tech in your country that sent an email out to everybody. And all it was is, and it would be like typing all in. I had no idea I did it until I got to work. But all these engineers were from India. They're like, Patrick, you don't have any idea what you do? And I said, yeah, I'm here to lift people up and make you smile. And oh no, you're crazy. You send emails to everybody. So, but I was trying to find. I kept searching and looking for the Kong Family Show, and then I went back to when I was on whatever day it was, Monday, Tuesday, I can't remember, but I had to go back to the link. and find where you sent me how to get on there. And then as soon as I clicked it, I'm like, boom, there it is. Boom, done. So,
Yep. We learn something new every day, right?
absolutely. So,
That email that you sent out ended up being some sort of a bit of a blessing, didn't it?
it did. Yes, sir. You know what? And my boss, after the not ramifications, but I said, do I still have a job here? And he goes, I'll email you if you're not going to have a job. But he goes, listen, you're in email jail, he says. So you're on restriction. He goes, I can help you set up where you only reach out and touch just the ones that need to know. Not that we're having struggles running equipment, because we send out gear for General Motors that not everybody needs to know that we're down for an hour because we got a machine that lost its mind. But I'm there to figure things out for them, and then I'm telling everybody about what my day went like, what happened, and then all these engineers were responding back in German, going, "Well, you need to try this, and you can't do that." And so the feedback was, I guess it was positive, but they're like, "You better get him under control." I don't know that would ever is going to happen. I mean, I sent a post out that said Facebook is like having a nosy neighbor. They're always looking over the fence. And I thought, well, I don't have a problem with that. I don't care if the neighbors look over here because they already know I'm freaking crazy. But I'm crazy and passionate about what we got going on here. And I know that that means a lot. And I'm still looking to grow. When I heard Shawn say he's got 400 something teams out there, here I am sitting on mine, and I'm just waiting on that first guy to take the bait. I'm going to hook him, and then it's off. And all the wheels gloves are coming off, and I can't wait to make that day. And there'll be a go live that day for me. My sweetie's on her way back. She's in Atlanta. About another 10 hours she'll be here. And then I'm probably going to be heading down to my new cottage down there in Florida and spend maybe Easter weekend checking that out. There'll be a go live there. Maybe see if I can get her on the show. She can tell you about the transformation she's seen in me. So I'm looking forward to, next week. And if I can, I know I sent you a messenger request saying, who's on the show today? So I'm going to try to keep on. The link is saved on the computer now. So
awesome.
We did learn.
How do I do that? I got to scroll up JJ's feed in our messenger every time to find the link.
Well, you know what? You know how to copy and paste?
Yeah, but where do you stick it?
You can try to. I can tell you where to stick it.
Touche.
Why don't you you know how to print?
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just print yourself or write it down and stick it right on the front of your machine when you go get your glass of water, and it'll be right there, your link.
No, you're right. That's a little more manual than I wanted, but yeah, I think that's probably what it's going to boil down to. But JJ ain't good looking enough to have his numbers stuck to my computer. You know what I mean? I was hoping he'd be a little more attractive.
Oh man, what are you talking about?
No. This is my JJ hat for the day. I was trying to roll with it. No, hey, listen, guys, I got a boogie. I got stuff to handle with this tax stuff. I got to do all my stuff and to get it to this cat by 1. Let me get my boogie on. Hey, God bless you. Let's have a great rest of the Friday. Yeah, good show just in the sense that we improvised. I've got another video, 16 minutes, on how leaders inspire action. I want to drop on a show coming up here in the near future. So just keep that in mind, and we'll go from there. But in the meanwhile, guys, you guys are beautiful. I kid around, JJ. You are a fine-looking man. You're just not my type.
Hey, we've got, just so you know, Shawn, we got Alexander, my brother Zorbas from Minnesota. He's coming in tomorrow. He's a freaking Hulk. He's like a cross between the Incredible Hulk and Conan the Barbarian. And he's going to be coming to us live tomorrow from his gym. And so he's going to be a hell of a show tomorrow. I'm excited for him. And been trying to get him on here for a while. Looking forward to seeing him tomorrow. And so that's going to be a 9 o'clock start. We're going to go because it's Saturday. We're doing a 9 o'clock start. And
got to be able to watch our cartoons first.
Yeah, exactly. That's all these guys got to go be in the cartoon festival called the Morning Motivation. So love you, buddy. Good luck with those taxes. Get that taken care of, and have yourself an awesome day. And we'll see you tomorrow, brother.
You got it. Later, gentlemen.
So Patrick, yeah, great seeing you, buddy. Glad that you were able to drop in today. Glad that that worked out with the email. That you know, sometimes little mistakes like that can be a pain, but sometimes they work out great too. It's designed, and that was what it was supposed to happen, and so that's why it did.
Yep, and you know what? He was after he kind of gave me the rundown. He's like, you know, I'm not going to criticize you because it was very professional, a lot of good communication. He goes, I love that fact that you're providing communication for other shifts and some of the problems that we have that reoccur on a daily basis. Like if you're not checking up on this stuff, like I spent 3 hours the other night finding defects on some parts, and here I look at an email. I sit down and I type it, I check my email, and I'd fought this battle for 3 hours for the same thing that somebody else had the night before. And so that was one of my goals that I had to make to myself. Check your emails when you walk in the door. And usually you walk in and somebody's like, hey, you know, I need you over here. It's like, hold on right there. I'm going to go check my email. So I've started going into work a little bit earlier, and I can go to this quiet space, I call it, and just pull it up, see what's going on, and then hit the floor. And it's all about getting ready and motivated. And like today, here I am awake. I just feel like, you know, I'm the Energizer Bunny. I go in, I put my time in. I'm still dealing with a lot of negative people there, but seeing the motivation in me and the positivity, and it's a blessing that I'm able to do this now. And it's always wonderful to talk with you. And you know, sometimes when you make a mistake, you get it back. Like, it wasn't a bad thing. He complimented me after the fact and said, just got to control and be more disciplined about who you send that email to. So
look out for that button.
I said, he said, the president got it. And I said, Trump? He goes, no, the president of METEC. I'm like, oh. He goes, after I was off the phone with the CEO, he goes, my phone was lit up for 3 hours, Patrick, literally.
I love it, buddy. You know, that's great, because that'll probably turn things around a little bit, because you were putting out some truth, and truth always ends up winning in the end. That's another great lesson for everybody to learn, you know, and that's what makes the Kong Family Show special, is that we are here to share valuable information on a daily basis. And most of what we're doing is centered around Kangen water, of course. But Kangen water is life. And life is a lot of trials and tribulations. And what we're trying to do is help people get through them. Sometimes it's health, sometimes it's wealth, sometimes it's just the everyday rigors of life. And you know, if you've got a big family of people that you know you can fall back on, that you can learn from, that you can gather golden nuggets from on a daily basis that you can utilize in your life, it's life-changing and it's world-changing. And you know, Patrick, having people like you come in here, it's the epitome of what we're doing. We're changing the world. We are the Kong family. And we have a really simple goal. We just want to change the world. One glass of 9.5 at a time, one person at a time, one jumble of awesome sauce at a time, and one Kong show at a time. So thank you, brother, for jumping in here, for giving us a little surprise. It was sweet. Always love you. And, you know, to everybody that's out there watching this, we hope that you gain some value from this. As you can, if you were tuned in, you know that the value is going to be coming in hot. We got Mr. Edlin from Seattle on the team now, and he wants to help us build this. He knows that this is something that has some serious power to it, and that's why I started it in the beginning, because I just knew that this was going to be something that would be worthwhile, that give us a platform to share our stories, to share the magic that is the Kong family. And every day I thank God and Mr. Ashiro for what they created and for putting me in touch with people like you, Patrick. And it's just getting started. It's, you know, we're going to be going back into the archives here 5 years from now, 10 years from now. We're going to be sitting there on the beach having our Mai Tai with the yacht out there in the bay, and we're going to be laughing about these little surprise things that happened on a Friday morning. And so God bless, brother. Love you so much. Have yourself an awesome rest of the day. Go out there, change some lives today, and we'll see you again. Hopefully you can tune in, and tomorrow with my brother Zorbas. It's going to be exciting. So you have yourself a great weekend, brother. I love you.
Love you too. I'll be here tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, kids, make sure, don't forget your hugs. HooDeeHooo! Love you, everybody. Make it great.